I think that's how the 6FTC might feel like right now is I just need a moment, just one moment after all the things. Ha! Ta-da! Booyah! And it worked. So now I feel like $1 billion. Thank you guys for your patience. I appreciate you. We are live on YouTube the proper way. In theory, everything is working, and it is. Ta-da! Haha. But good evening, guys. One thing at a time. As you guys know, this is recorded. As you guys know, everything that we talk about on this is for in educational purposes only. It is not to be considered legal or financial advice. I'll get that pulled up here in just a second, but you guys already know. If you've been working with me for a little while, please make sure you check out the description box below on YouTube or scan the link tree for any of the tried and true brokers that we do use. Do me a favor and definitely check out the prop firms as well. Use code 6FTC. If there's not a code there, message me. I'll tell you what I think, or I'll show you kind of what we're working with. And with that said, we just now hit our 8 p.m. hour. So I'm probably going to flash this on screen just real briefly because it's the right thing to do, right? And then we'll get started kind of analyzing these charts. So you guys know this, trade at your own risk. Check this out, pause the screen. You guys know all that too. And of course, we've got our giveaways. I think tonight we have another giveaway as well, which is kind of cool. So make sure you guys participate in that. We've given away over $1 million worth of funding, which is not nothing. That is definitely something worthwhile. But here we go. NQ. I have one person on here who I know without a doubt only wants to trade NQ pretty much now forever, if I'm not mistaken. Wants to walk away from gold and everything else. I, full disclaimer, have been living gold. I think gold has been clean and smooth during all the sessions that I'm on. But here we go. That's our 20 o'clock, our 8 p.m. Sydney. We love that time because there's less volatility, a lot less New York nonsense, and just an easy way to come to the charts, see what you need to see, and then get up off of them. So this is NQ. We have a slight buffer put on here. This is the 2 minute time frame. That's 20 o'clock. And we're waiting for the breakout. You'll notice this indicator might not have all the stuff on there. We might have to update this here in a second because I deleted and restarted 100 times today. But you'll notice that the newest version has all kinds of cool bells and whistles kind of written in. So really excited about that. I hope if you guys are using that, please make sure you post that below in the comments below. Please make sure you post that in our Discord because it's helping a lot of people. There are quite a few people who've gotten payouts, who have passed their challenges, who have simplified their schedule and stopped over trading so much. All of those things are big wins. It's not just did I make money? There are 1,000 other ways to go get our big wins. This is that trend line we wanted to break through on gold. We were looking at this trade right here. Beautiful. Beautiful. I didn't take it though, because I knew I was going to be busy and I didn't want to be trading. Did not want to be on the charts, but here's gold. Gold's got a bearish candle inside. We're about 4 minutes into the 8 o'clock hour. We look like we're trying to break out here. Nice buffer. Keep in mind, if we try to sell this, we might just be selling it to close before and not necessarily hitting this target. So be careful on that. Don't get overzealous with that target. And this target's even closer. So be careful on ES as well. Otherwise, I like the way NQ is looking. I'm going to be looking to enter NQ. We've got 1 minute and 43 seconds left. And I am selling. As soon as we get that kind of that confirmation, that move a little bit to the downside, we just need a little bit. Just a little bit, preferably. We kind of tapped, but we have no oomph, no follow through. I keep tracking that. Gold's looking like it wants to buy. If I'm buying gold, I'm taking gold to this next level as my target. Let's see what we get. And NQ is now making our move. So remember, we've got a target all the way down into here before we hit the one range. So please be mindful of that. Looking to sell now. So I'm in this, can't unbe in this. I hit that twice. Let's get our little take profit on here. Really painless. I am going to be locking profit by the time I get to yesterday's closing price. And otherwise, I'd like to at least take the lows, ideally. And my stop loss is going to be on the other side of that range. Let's see what we can't get out of this if we get our move. Already popped back up, not in profit. as we speak. This is lagging compared to trading. This is lagging a lot. There's no D here. That price action is lagging pretty bad compared to Trader 8 tonight. But okay, we've got that. Good evening, chat. How are you? Thank you for the DM. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Sitting at, what is it, $20, $60, two contracts. And now we'll see. We'll wait. This is our NQ. I'm going to give it, you can give it all the way up to this high and say, hey, look, price closes above this amount. You can be looking to kind of make an action based off of that 50%. That might be a bit close. And or have your stop loss on the other side of this range, win, lose, or draw. We have no guarantees. I will tell you price action on TradingView is massively lagging right now. Definitely lagging. Better refresh that a little bit. We're still really showing some bearish momentum, like we don't want to push up, but let's see how this candle closes in the next minute and 13 seconds. ES full body and gold has broke out. So we've got our candle close here. Remember, if we're buying this, I know where I'd be taking it. I'd be looking to take these highs over here, but remember, you can't be in everything. So long position, don't take this as the end all be all just yet. Let's zoom in on time frames a little bit. I would be looking to target, that's the high we were targeting earlier today. That's kind of where I'd be looking to be. So we can wait for that to pull back down and retest a little bit and keep our eye on it. And NQ is trying to push back up. But we're not going to enter yet. Let's see what this does as we retest. $250 in drawdown on NQ. That's about the high. We've got 14 seconds left and two pairs that we're monitoring. This looks like we're trying to push back in. So no trade here. We would have to get a bullish close now to confirm break and retest. Right now, we're not getting that at all. Not at all. So we can pop down to a smaller time frame if we want, but we're definitely not getting that, solid confirmation that we're looking to buy like we would have wanted to see. Gold is currently sitting in $90 drawdown. Not gold, sorry. NQ, $100 drawdown. And we'll see. So no trade here yet on gold. I'd like to try to catch two, but it might just be one. It's been the season for one. We're still respecting this range. We'll just kind of babysit this a little. We're still also in the 1 minute range too. We've got 6 more minutes left on this 15-minute candle. And now we wait. While we wait, anybody have any questions, comments, things that they're working on? If you have any trouble updating to the new script, all of that stuff worked out pretty well. I'm thinking, because I think the Discord channel we just created was easy and painless. 120, 110, 100, it's trying. And now we're trying to kind of push back up. Broke through, retested, buy up. We've got 45 seconds left on this candle, but that's our break, our retest. As long as this closes with confirmation on the 2 minute or the 1 minute, you've got your validation that, okay, yeah, now you want to confirm looking for a buy. That's your close, your 1 minute close. Got 20 seconds left here. NQ sitting in $250 a drawdown. Looks like we're trying to break out of that range. And gold is going. We go to gold off screen. Gold. It's too late getting that pulled up. Just waiting. Trying to keep all of that up at the same time. NQ wicked above that range, but we're still kind of respecting it. So I'm going to keep my stop loss a little bit further away. This is really late. I was too busy kind of straggling out to kind of grab this personally. but not a bad trade. I'm gonna go monitor NQ. We wicked right here. That's why we try to say put our stop loss a little bit further away. We'll see how this plays out. We might lose. Might lose fair and square, but we'll see. Man, it took me too long. I switched the pairs on accident when I came to tap this, so it took me too long to enter that. That stinks, but that's okay. I'm not going to chase it recklessly. Darn it. At least not on purpose anyways. We're currently sitting in $120 in drawdown and just waiting. Just waiting for a second. Gold was smooth. Just was too late. Break and retest, very smooth. And then there you go. I think even just into here is still a great target. But now let's watch. We don't want it really getting past above here now because there's no sense in letting it go that far. Sitting in $140 in drawdown right now. So nothing that's not digestible. Well, that's it. Let's see if we can get that to move down. Look at a couple of other things. Miami's pushing up too, though. And back to NQ. I don't love this candle right here. That wick. I'd really like us to get below this. But I'm just waiting through drawdown. So I'm in $110 a drawdown, waiting patiently. There's not, I can close if I don't like it, but that's not going to help me. I can lock or kind of close out of some because I want to be targeting here, but that's it. So those are my options. Those are my only options, and we'll see. We will see. The stream's bit rate is lower than recommended. That's our YouTube warning for the night. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. It's trying, it's just not moving anywhere. It's trying slowly but surely. And let's wait. Gold was smooth. I was just too hesitant here. I was busy trying to click on the right contract. That's a great trade. Sitting in drill down on this one. ES has broken out to the upside, and so has YM. So good reason to maybe look to exit your NQ. Come on. It won't even let me click on things. There we go. YM is broken to the upside. ES to the upside. NQ is not looking like it wants to go down to the downside, but that's our break above. We've got a minute left. Brand new candle. We've closed above. Still technically in that position because my stop loss is a little higher than here. It's $500 right now. $500, 440. Let's see. Now what I'm going to do to mitigate some loss, we've broken above. So we've closed with a full body bearish bullish candle. We also know ES has moved to the upside. We know YM has moved to the upside. So now I don't need to see if NQ is going to push any higher. I would like to get out at a slightly better price than all the way up here. So now we've got that move. I'm going to be moving these in. Both of them in. Let's see if we can't scooch this down a little bit and get somewhat of a better loss. And we're out. Somewhere around 360, 370 out on this wick. So I don't mind keeping my stop loss a little bit further away. But in all fairness, we broke down. Cool. Didn't continue. And gold moved up. So did everything. Everything moved up. That's lovely. Pull that down into here. That's where we got out. ES doesn't hit full target yet. Gold hasn't hit full target yet. And Q will likely hit full target very quickly. And now you get to decide, do you want to take an extra trade? You've got your close, you've got your retest. Do you want to take another trade? We know that this was all-time highs prior to us tapping this today. That's what that white level is. So we're going to try to take the all-time high yet again. Take out that liquidity. Can't be that much in theory. But we've got 2247 and we've got our quarter point is at 2248. 2288. I've got our pivot point up here, our quarter point at 50, our pivot point at 88. So not in love with chasing that either. Just wicked. Wicked, wicked. And we're pushing right back down. Could have held a little bit better. Oh, I was like, why didn't that move over? A little bit more. Because we closed out fair and square, so I had to close out fair and square. Had to close out. All right. Took a one great trade this morning, one not so great trade tonight. We can look for one other trade and answer a couple of questions in terms of strategy, tools, licensing, or anything, any single thing else. It's gold. Watch NQ now break to the downside. If it breaks back down, I would take one more trade. And in that one more trade, I would not be less necessarily looking for a profit on the day. I would just want my 360 back. That's it. My 360, 380. That trade cost me 360 in total. Cool. Doable. Not that big of a range, so I can handle that. But I think we're going to get a reaction here. And if we break through it, we've got a nice push potentially to the downside. We've also got those highs up there. We're still currently sitting above on everything. 5 minute popped up. 2 minutes. And we wait. We just wait. We've pulled out, retested, again, retested. Not getting a lot of follow through yet. Awesome day, Brika. Great day, Josiah. Not Josiah. I played soccer. We did soccer again last night. Think I lost some of my voice.
Yeah, Jenny, it's overtime. You should know it now. Joshua.
Oh, I can't.
Joshua.
Hey, I almost called David. I almost called David Joshua last night.
Yeah, he told me.
Did that. I'm so at this point we've had a lot of screen time in the last 7 days. A lot of screen time. It's time for some beach time, I think, to just rewire, refire.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. I do have a question for you, Jenny. I was trying to wait a little longer though before you.
Oh, come on out.
Uh, okay, it's a little off subject, but it's what do you know the little talk we had in Discord about instant funding, right?
Yep.
For the people that kind of past prop firms got payouts, kind of want to try something different, like the instant funding route.
Yep.
So I like to put it in perspective just to say if Jenny's trading for Blue Guardian and uh you're trading, let's say 150K account and they have a 20% consistency rule, how would Jenny trade that account from start to finish? Like how would you trade that account?
On take on the Blue Guardian, I've only done the 50K accounts just for reference. So I'm gonna
Okay,
use those numbers. Remember, I think that's 2,000, then 3,000, and every broker is a little different because some of them are 25, some of them are
I got you. Yeah,
$4,000 targets or $3,000 targets. So take all of that with a grain of salt per the account you're getting. Because like, as you know, what is it? My Funded Futures has like a same brokerage, same prop has like 50 different options. So going off of the basis of a 50K account on Blue Guardian, I think one of the reasons I just had such stability there was I used it as my like low risk PM trades to kind of give you an idea, meaning I would take 1 to 2 micros. Every now and then I did 3 micros. And for the most part, all four of those accounts have been mostly built with only ES or MES. like literally nothing else on there, just that one instrument. Because like once you get good at the size, you can control risk a little bit different. So it means I could take this trade using like a JGS or a breakout and let it run even overnight because I know how the take profits and the stop losses will ultimately work. Like there's no doubt that maybe it doesn't activate or maybe it stays on my chart or maybe something happens. So for those trades in general, I was getting better than the instant one-to-one kind of thing. So granted, it would also take me this long to make the same 300, but it also would I wouldn't lose that 300 in this size. So think, 2 to 3 micros at the most. As I was first building, I only did two micros until I got past the buffer. And then I was willing to do 3, 4, and then even up to now 5 micros. So I'm not doing a lot of size on that. I'm doing it very slow because remember, they also have payout limits. I think that's the healthy mindset that sets them apart, in my opinion, from Top Step, is because Top Step makes it to where you can only withdraw 50% at a time, and
Yeah.
your max is 5,000, and you only get a cap of 5 withdrawals before they move you to live. To me, that messed with my psychology. And I was like, no, I have to get to this number before I make a withdrawal. And then I would end up making some kind of a human mistake, and that was stupid. So because their payouts are really reasonably sized, you're not trying to go for a bunch anyways. So yes, 2 micros to start, 3 micros after you've kind of at least made at least $1,000 over, to your target or $1,000 over your buffer kind of thing. And I still am not bigger than 5 micros. In general, I'm still using the 2 minute time frame. And for the most part, I use the PM trade. So yes, once I was in, before I went to bed, I would likely move my take profit into break even, well, my stop loss into break even. Sometimes I didn't though. Sometimes I accepted the risk and said, hey, on the night, I think I'm definitely going to hit this 2.5-ish to one, 3 to 1 or better. So I'm willing to take the risk and not protect it because I take something like this. If I had sold here on JGS and I had locked it before bed, I missed the trade that would have ultimately paid everything. And
Yeah.
that's going to be the same on all of these. Oh, wait, I'm buying. I'm really sure we've taken, what is that, break of structure, market structure shift, da-da. And then we do that here. And let's say I'm going to bed. I lock profit. I'm knocked out and the move happens. So I want you to know I accepted the risk on the day. And in general, I only took one trade, sometimes 2 trades in a day. Only one though. Most of the time, if I went back, almost every single day, it's one trade or no trades. And I
Okay.
think out of like a 5 week period, it was 2 trades. The only
So
couple times.
not to cut your wisdom off. Okay, Jenny. So I hear you say, and that's good. I hear you say something about a buffer when is what I've seemed to have studied with their instant funding. They don't have a buffer, but they do have um, they do have a, I'm trying to say take profit, but they have a profit target.
Yes.
So what that
Yeah.
would be a little bit different than with the instant funding. They don't actually have a buffer, but they do have a profit target,
Well,
right?
when I reference a buffer, I mean, again, every one of these brokers call it something different. So when I'm talking about the buffer, I mean getting past whatever level it is that makes it that you need to get past in order to get a payout, right? So
The payout,
if,
yeah.
if that's 3,000 to get from eval to funded, if that's 3,000 to get from, like, let's say you're in a live account, you need to get past that first, what is it, 2,500 or 3,000 in
Yeah.
order to be payout approved. So when I say buffer, I mean that. So once you've got past whatever that minimum amount is and
Yeah.
call it whatever you want, that's when I would be increasing risk.
Okay. I got you. Yeah. Okay.
I originally tried to do something like, hey, I was going to do 1 micro on particular that broker for particularly those reasons, 1 micro per $1,000 I had available. But then I was doing so much in the testing on trading when it was a Ninja Trader and stuff. I didn't want to have to do that. Plus, I had a couple of different accounts and they had different sizes. So I was like, this isn't going to work anyways. Um, so I just kind of went with, hey, no, I'm going to do two. When I have a cushion, I'll do three because otherwise I was finding myself kind of making too many human errors and saying, well, this one has closer to this. So I'm going to do four and I'm going to do this and or I'm going to do this. So for me, just 3 micros, believe it or not, on this pair is plenty. You don't need much. What is
Yeah.
it? On yes.
Yeah.
It's be careful on MNQ though, because even 1 micro might be a lot on some moves.
Now talk in reference to talk in reference to past the 50,000 account. Let's say if you got a 150K account. And I've seen you had a few 150K accounts. I've seen Uncle P with them as well. What would you risk? What would be your risk if you're already funded on a 150K account? What would be Jenny's risk?
I
as
like
as
one
that.
mini. Like the benefit of trading a mini, so let's talk devil's advocate. On the 150, which I primarily do those on Take Profit Trader,
Yeah,
um, I like one mini a lot because that one move is $300. And fine, maybe I'm down 300 on the day or up 300 on the day, but then that's it. I don't need any more than that. Now, granted, if you're trying to trade New York Open, I feel like one mini might be a bit much because if you go to New York Open times, like it's the range is just a lot of times it's too big, it's outsized. It's not going to work well. You can't even get one mini. This is on gold.
yeah.
It might be a bit big, and this is only the 2 minute time frame. So for me, maybe if you're not doing New York Open, I like one mini. I like it for pre-market. I like it for some New York PMs. I like it for Sydney. But New York Open, I'd probably try to stay away from the minis because you just don't have any room to maybe take this trade and sit through this because this is, I don't know, probably three to four, $500 all by itself. And again, the trade was amazing. But let's say you got in a little late, and let's say this pulled back a little bit more, that already exceeds your max loss, depending on which broker or what your settings are on your daily loss limits and stuff like that. If you got in here and it pulled back even just this much, it's really not that much, but it's worth an awful lot on the minis.
Okay. I've never used a mini before. I've always used micros.
Hey, wait, well, you should definitely don't try it on your instant funded because that account's more expensive.
Yeah, I'm talking passing accounts, getting payouts. I mean, even back in the day with Forex, like my funded Forex and my funded and man, what's the other two I traded with? Like, man, I would risk small and make good money, you know. That's just been the name of my game. But uh
Well,
I don't know. Go ahead, Jenny. I'm sorry.
no, that's okay. On ES, think about it this way.
Yeah.
Oh, I drew this on the wrong thing anyways. I marked this up on ES and I was in NQ. Look at me. Go girl. Good job. Um, I'm so on it today. Anyways, on ES, let's go here. This right here is, well, we're on the right pair now. Let's pull this up a little bit to give us an idea. This is literally what? One contract. That's $500 risk. So this 8 points is $500. I,
Yeah.
so depending on how much you're risking, if you're risking $500,
Yeah.
you might want to consider that on the 150, or like if you're getting the 300K accounts from Apex, you might actually want to consider it. But otherwise, stay with your couple of micros for now. Plus, you're good at it. As long as you're optimizing this trade and you're not the person that says, oh man, I only made $70. Because some of us are in that range where we're like, oh my gosh, I only made $70. So
Yeah.
I have to take another trade, another trade, another trade. If that's one of your weaknesses, just go to the mini because that will solve that right up.
Okay.
It'll say, not, no, okay, it's going to be like, okay, that's not an option.
And actually, I want to bring that up psychologically for me because I've been through that realm of um and not to take away from anything that the futures I I've studied the stats and the 50K and how it's better. I really have. Um I really believe in copy trading them. I do believe in that teaching as well. But I do realize for my psychological I'm gonna always take more trades if I only made $100. If it depends on what it is. If I call $100 for me break even. My mind is already like set that way. And I heard a video, not to keep bringing it up, but I actually when I was rocking with Uncle P about few years ago. Well, matter of fact, this was this year. He dropped a video when he was using your system, and he said something about how his mind is messed up if he doesn't make you know, what did he say? If he doesn't, now granted, we understand the rules of the market. You take what the market gives, but I'm saying in essence, when you do win or when you do win a trade, if he doesn't make a certain amount in his head, he's like, man, I'm gonna over leverage. I'm gonna keep, because especially if he used to trading props, and I remember trading 100K props, 200K props, 200K. I remember when they didn't have rules, you didn't trade prop firms then, Jenny. You was trading your own money uh,
Yeah.
when you was teaching. But 200K, you didn't have no rules. You made 4,000 a day. You was living, So now it's like, okay, what if I got an instant funded and it was a little heavier, 150K, something like that. And what if I could risk $500, Jenny? What if I could risk 500 to trade? Somebody that's not scared to lose that 500. What if I can risk that and typically make 2 to 1 using the breakout? That's $1,000.
there. So, and
And
just scale it. So like think about it this way. On ES, you can risk between like 300, $500 per trade, right?
yeah, yeah,
And take one trade, two trades down, and just don't take any more though. Like so you get 1 to 2 sessions a day. If you're doing 2 sessions a day, that means you can lose 10 times in a row, give or take if you're doing 3 to 5 plus fees and stuff,
yeah,
10 times. And most of us, we're not going to lose 10 times in a row. So people think that might be too much, and it might be for them, but I'm on team mini side in
yeah,
general for the purpose of this conversation. And I'll tell you the other reasons why I personally stopped making as many mistakes when I went away from micros. Don't get me wrong, it's harder to manage. I can't scale out, but the scale outs don't work very well for the copy trading anyway, so that wasn't working for me. So that's
okay,
out. Um, a big reason why I got away from some of the micros is because I'm team, hey, I took this entry, I can take three more and then it'll go my way because then I've got a better price. I kept trying to DCA in and that's toxic. Like when you're doing it with the system or a strategy, I know that mathematically it's sound and it works, but man, that's trouble. On the
yeah,
one time you're wrong,
yeah,
it's a bad call. That number one and then number two, I'm trading 20, 30 accounts. That's, you're talking between like $5 and $9 million in funding. And you're like, okay, but you made like 70, 80, maybe $120 on the account. And then you start to do the math and you're like, crap, that's going to take like 20 days. Like 20 days after fees, that's what that'll take. Okay, now I got to go back in. And every time I did that, my great setup, my good strategy, my sound rule management was this $120 trade. But then of course the next one was the negative 200. And the psychological aspect, I went back in and that was foolish. So for
yeah.
me, that's kind of some of the reasons that I personally agree.
Honestly, that's what causes if I were to, because I don't fail many prop firms. So when I do, when you dollar cost average in, it's because you still have that in the psychological for me. I'm just for me. I
Yeah.
still have it in like $120, $70. Ah, yeah, right. It just broke this area of structure right here. I'm finna re-enter. The candle has closed, and then it just boom, it drops against you, and you like, oh man, now instead of being up that $120, you down $200, And then you wind up going on tilt, which I've done that once, and but still
Wait, you're gonna tell me you've only went on tilt once your entire trading career?
one time. And
I
that was
can't with
when
you.
that 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 oh, for futures. For Forex, I went on tilt a couple times. I'm just speaking on futures right now. But for Forex, yeah, I went on tilt a couple times. I didn't even know it was tilt. I just thought it was trade.
Okay, that's it. That's it. This is cancel culture, cancel conversation because let
Wait
me
a
be
second, Jenny.
honest, okay? I didn't struggle. Like I've lost big accounts, I've made big human mistakes, I've had big tech mistakes in Forex. I've done all sides of the spectrum and I never quote, first off, I didn't know what that was. Let me be very transparent. But secondly, I never had that vibe or feeling at the end of the day like tilt. I came into futures and I have suddenly become very, very aware of what tilt is. I assure you, I know now the triggers. When tech messes up and I lost for reasons that were not my fault, that is immensely triggering for me. And I'm like, screw this, watch me make it better. And on that day, I don't make it better a lot of the times. And that is called tilt. Of course,
Oh,
like there's so many things. So I never had a tilt problem until I came to future. So you saying you only did it once your whole
oh,
future?
never mind. When you explain it like that, never mind. Because Tradeovate did something to me, and I just said, you know what? I started risking. Yeah, that's tilt. Okay, I get it now.
Oh,
Okay,
you no,
never
no,
mind.
no. Honestly, I
Never-
want to learn because you tell me how you only go until one time because I want to go
No,
until one
no,
time.
no, 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 no. I take that back. I went on because I've been on Tuesday nights with my brother, and if that's the definition of true tilting, then yeah, I've tilted on there with my brother. But my brother he'll vouch. If I'm a different type of trader. If I go tilting, bro, and my back against the wall, Jen, man, I
That.
chop the market up and get my money back.
That's the problem. Now, the problem when you win, you feel
That's bad.
justified
It's
and you feel like
bad.
you're a baddie, right? But when you
Yeah.
lose, you don't even call it tilt.
Oh,
That's the move
don't
I wanted.
wait, Jenny. Don't say baddie. Hey, you too. Don't take. Wait a minute. Now, don't say baddie.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but I get. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's bad habits, and I'm just like, one day I'm like, no, I'm not doing that no more.
Chop
I'm
That's
him up, Jenny.
Yep. See? Hey David, how you doing? This is the move that I wanted. So we're coming up to that line. I would have taken this on the break after this is an inside candle, guys. That's an inside candle. That's
Mhm.
your break. But what did you say, David? I'm gonna let this pull back up.
That's that close right there, D. That's the
I
close.
said chop him up.
For real. It's okay. You can chop up David too, because he's gonna work on his
That that
accepting the risk.
that trend line you drew up, we just went over that, me and him. And that break of the trend line, once it closes like that, I told him that's actually tilt moves for me. Whenever I lose my money, I look for setups like that to get it back.
Well,
So
so
that's
if we're following strategy, so this JGS, ready? Let me just tell you the
Yep.
strategy I'm seeing. So A, we've got JGS, we've crossed below the moving average. MACD is now confirmed with two candles below. We've now retested and almost filled this little baby fair value gap. We've got a break of a trend line. This formation, one, two, three, parent, child, three, has confirmed the move. So now we enter. A little late now because of the move, like the little wick happening there. But now I'd be looking for that entry. So all I'd be looking for, and I'm in, is, and I can only show you so many things at a time.
Yeah, I get it, Jen. That's my move. When I call tilt, that's my move. Except the difference with me is I'll go down to the 1 minute to look for those same type of setups. And I'll just chop it up on the 1 minute. Every time it happens like that, and every time it breaks, say it breaks that structure right there, I'll stay up at night and I'll hit it again.
I'm trying to trade less over here. He's over like I'm trying
Yeah,
to trade.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
So
I
I'm
don't do
back
that
in
no
this
more though,
trade.
Jen.
I'm back in here, guys. I'm back in here. I'm not on tilt. Okay, that was strategy. I just backed up all the reasons. We have inside out, we have JGS, we've got our MACD and confluence. And remember, we got to be careful when we touch the closing price of yesterday's closing price, though. What I don't want to see us happen is us just wick here and then go try to take the highs. Because these are all-time highs, right? I think we looked this morning. I'm pretty darn, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not.
I think they are the
Yeah, those are all-time highs.
all-time highs. But
That's for
Jenny, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say it like that before. I never realized that, okay, so even when I can chop it up like that and I get the money back, that's also tilt. I only consider it tilt when I blow on my account.
Well, wait, when we're, I think you can define tilt a thousand different ways.
Right. But I was just saying, I think you're right, but and I still may have heart palpitations, my heart's beating fast, I'm totally stressed out. But if I win and I accomplish what I wanted to, then I'm okay with it and I'll call it still. But obviously, if I blow all of my accounts and I lose with it, then I call it tilt. But you just kind of brought to my attention that either way, I'm on tilt. Either way, I'm completely out of control.
that 100%. Like, well, and it's hard. So that book, The Mental Game of Trading, what is it, Jared Tendler?
Yeah.
I think it does a great job of going over all the psychological stuff that goes into that. And when we go against our strategy, because remember, we have a strategy. So if our strategy says we're allowed to take two, three trades a session, that's our max. Regardless of the rest, there's no such thing as, well, I'm just going to take these five, six, seven others on the 1 minute because I'm making it back and then saying that you have a successful trading plan because you do not. You're not following it. And yes, don't get me wrong. A, you can have those perfect cycles where those technically equals payouts. B, you can have the times where you technically won. Like, woohoo, look at that. You were right anyways, and da 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 da. But the truth is, the long term, the big picture, because none of us are trying to make one payout. None of us are trying to make
Right.
one payout from the prop firm or one withdrawal from our personal. We're trying to create a steady income source or a larger kind of gain
I
neither
think
of which we can do if we're giving into that psychology. It won't work.
like it won't work. You're right, and that's what I have to remember is I have to come in and day out, be disciplined, go slow, and all that. But I also agree with what you said too about the like sometimes going too slow with the micros versus just taking the minis because I also try my best to take the micros. But the one payout that my only payout that I've ever gotten, I actually got it on a straight to funding account. Um, and I used one mini. And I just felt like one mini to me still is just so much easier to deal with than dealing with the micros. I just seem to just I don't know. I fumble all over micros, and they're just difficult for me. I mean, and they don't really work for me unless there's just super, super, super high volatility. One of those big trending days where there's big moves and all of that. But
So
just
question, when you were using
mhm.
micros, how many were you using at a time?
I use five. On average, I use five, and I try to just, for the most part, I go in with them and I go out with at the same time. But for whatever reason, it's just not fulfilling.
That I know, I agree. It's different with micros. Um, when I did straight to funded, I used Blue Guardian. I think Blue Guardian is really good. I know Tradeify has one. But
Yeah,
I
mine
also
was Tradify. That was a few months ago. I got my first and only payout. I haven't been able to get one since. Probably gonna keep going until before I get to it. So I chilled on the Tradify account because it was too expensive if I'm not in the headspace to get it again. So I've just been doing the take profit trader because that's kind of like straight to fund it. I mean, not really.
I
It's just a
like Take Profit
straightforward.
Trader. Like I honestly think it's just they take all the nonsense out. I like it an awful lot.
I do too. Yeah, I
I
do
just think it's the
too. I've
simplest.
only passed one evaluation to take profit trader, but I think I'm still just have cold feet with it. Like to me, take profit trading is like the big boys, and I'm just I don't know why I don't pass them like I do. I don't know why is it different than an Apex account. I can pass the Apex account, pretty easily, but I don't know why. Maybe because I know it can also be the funder account. Maybe I'm trying to be too careful with it.
Yeah, I think the Apex rules too are just it's an ever-changing playground and that makes it really hard. My
Well, I
days
mean,
will
I've never
stand.
gotten a payout from them. I've had several accounts, but I've never gotten a payout. I've only passed the evaluation successfully. I've got, I've had quite a few PAs or performance accounts, but I've never gotten a payout. But you're right. I mean, I do think it's super hard.
It's just an ever-moving target. Okay, we're getting a bullish close above this little baby fair value gap, this little baby imbalance. And yet another bullish candle. We're on the 2-minute time frame. So that's an aggressive one. We haven't broke above that candle high. So we're still kind of respecting that child candle, if you will. But as you get close to entry, I'd be looking to exit. It's just not, and that's kind of what happened today too. Every time it tried to sell, especially during New York, every time we tried to sell today, it just got bought back up pretty aggressively. And so we tried to sell, bought back up, tried to sell, bought back up, bought back up, bought back up. And I haven't looked at book map in a little while. I haven't looked at all those orders. Probably should pull that up. It just hasn't been my priority. But man, there's got to be a crap ton of buyers just pushing this up. They're probably going to try to get it way above here before they try to sell it because they're going to knock out every single retail buyer until we are no longer willing to buy. And at that very second, when we finally give in and say, okay, well, we've broken highs, we've retested, we pushed 7 levels, now we're going to sell it, right? When all of us are getting ready to say, okay, we agree with the buy. That's what they're doing. They're just messing with all the retail traders at this point. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I should have gotten in for a buy a long time ago around the 100 moving average.
It's not. We're not even coming back into this. So we inverted that fair value gap. It was a bearish fair value gap. It's now a bull. It's literally inverted perfectly twice. So price is going to come back into it. It's just probably going to pull some different levels first. What do they call that on the new ICT model? What is the Venom balanced price range, BPR? That's a bearish and then a bullish fair value gap. So that's a BPR, balanced price range right there. That's what that is. But we'll see. We'll see. Hey, in the YouTube chat, it says something about Futrix. Guys, whether it's 6FTC, Futrix, or anything else, always go to the company in which you signed up for. So this particular call is a public call. It's on YouTube, available for everybody. And of course, people you hear on the Zoom are inside of our 6FTC community, public members, to be transparent. It's not just private members. But Futrix session stuff is all on the website, and if you have the right membership there, you'll have access to the Asian, which usually Uncle P does, or if you have New York, which is usually me, except for Wednesdays, um, then you'll have access to all those links, and they're all back there. So if you're having trouble with that or anything on the 6FTC side, your best case scenario is always to go to the support from wherever you found this stuff and ask them, because it's just going to give you the most streamlined, accurate, up-to-date, ethical information possible. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Boo Billions. What's your name? What's your name? And Miss Donna can help you too. So if she's on Telegram, I believe she has, what is it, Simplicity, super easy at simplicity.com. Please, I'm so sorry if I said that wrong.
Yes, email me. Don't private message me.
She's
Super
like,
easy simplicity. Yes, super easy simplicity at gmail.com.
there you go. And she'll get you all sorted. They're great at all, figuring out what you need to do to get where you need to go. So you're in great hands. If I had to guess, they're probably just not signed up for that session, so they didn't have access to whatever session, wherever, but I can't say. They can answer all that. Bouncing into that, buyers are just too powerful, and my butt's trying to sell. And it's not even aggressive buying back up, but it's buying back up every time. Every bit. We're just getting no follow through on all the sells. I really need to pull up Bookmap to find out what the heck, where all the major orders are. If I had to guess without pulling it up, there's a crap ton of orders somewhere way up here, and it's going to be substantially farther away from this high. They're going to take everybody, wait till we all finally want to buy it, and that's the day they're going to drop it 3%. They're going to drop it like a couple thousand ticks, or what is it, a couple hundred points? Boom. But we'll see. Right now, we're still kind of in that balanced price range. We're trying. We're still respecting this. I'm not going to give it much more room than this. If you really want to give this, Forex style trade, you can kind of go into here and say, look, I'll give it the high that we've had in this Asian session. I'll be targeting the high from, this would be yesterday's high or pre-market high to give you an idea. Cool. That's still a great risk to reward trade. Otherwise, we were targeting the lows. But personally, I'm really going to be watching price anywhere past this parent candle for sure. That parent candle of the inside out right before we get here. Let's see. And we will see. But look, just no fault. We're not closing bearish enough. We wicked down just into this little balance. Kind of choppy. That's all we're doing. Won't make up its mind. Hopefully we can break through this and stay below, but we'll see. I'll hang out for a minute and see what we get. You are welcome. Boo Billions, what is your name? What is your name, my friend, on YouTube? If you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and do all the things that help the YouTube channel. We're doing the darn thing, and it helps us do more and impact more. So it just helps us get where we're going and helps you get where you want to be. So please make sure you do that. If your indicator, so let's talk about the indicator for a second while we wait for this trade to figure out what it wants to do. I'll say again, I'll say publicly, we've had a lot of stuff going on. Number one, if you saw how many iterations of this I have, you would be like, girl, because it's insane. It's insane how many. I believe through all the updates, and this was what I was trying to avoid on the license part, some people running older versions, it's just creating a lot of buggy issues with the published versions for 6FTC members. So I'm speaking compartmentally here for a moment. And then, of course, we have the licensed version for Futrix. We've got multiple problems that we're facing and kind of working through. One of them is somebody was trying to rip off the idea that steal it. They hired a developer, et cetera, et cetera. We've now found out that people are sharing it from the 6FTC group. So that's lovely too. So just a mess on that side. But then also it's getting buggier and buggier because we're not updating this as it should be. And I think that it's just messing with the efficiency, if I'm saying that word right, of the updates. So for example, some of them I will have pushed out from the developer. It's fixed on the main version, but I think when other people are still kind of running and not updating it, it reverts back and we couldn't figure out what was causing some of the things that we've already fixed. Like little things like the numeric stuff on the line labels, the way the buffer was calculating stuff. There's just a couple of things basically that keep reappearing that have already been coded to be fixed. So in order to improve upon that, we want everybody to delete every version of this they have, and of course save the template, delete it off your chart and save the template. If you have any version running, please make sure you update it, okay? And then delete it. What else? After 10 p.m. tonight, wherever you got your version, go to that same place and click on that same link. You will get an update. I'm not going to push out the Futrix one until after 10 p.m. because I wanted to give Uncle P's class time to, do his class and everything that he wanted to do, and then announce it also to people who are in his class and for them to have time to kind of delete it off their charts and everything else. So at 10 p.m. tonight, I will push out the update. Hopefully everyone has deleted all the versions or updated all the versions and we'll get to start fresh. And then in theory, moving forward, when I push out an update, it sends you guys a nice little packaged bow email saying, hey, there's an update. It's very streamlined. You update it and it shouldn't be reverting back. So I even went ahead and changed the 6FTC license system as well to where now it's licensed by TradingView account. So in theory, we will have solved quite a few of the problems we've been facing, but we shall see. We shall see. Back to all the chats. Came right inside the fair value gap, left and rejected. Yeah, twice, and then it's pushing back up. So I'm going to be out on this trade. It's just not. We're coming above and closing above even this child candle. We got a nice strong break. If we had taken it right here, cool, that's plenty of a move using that as your stop loss. But waiting for this to close and we were yapping here, nah, just not the best trading evening. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Trading is not always profitable. Not always. Not all. Boom. We'll see. The hard part is also not to go back in. So I've got my 2 trades on the evening and then just letting it be. So we'll see. We just got too much buying potential. 1 minute trying to close bearish again. We broke down, came back up. We closed below it, came back above it. Failed to come back into this bullish range. We tapped it. We fully inverted this all the way across. And this is where we're sitting. That's too high of a stop. The big one all the way to the left. Oh, right here. Yeah, the one we were targeting. I really wanted to see this one though, John. What I was hoping, so look at this. This is the big one to the left. Boom. That's the big one to the left right here. We came down and filled most of it. We just didn't tap yesterday's close. And that's it. It's gone. It's out of here. We're closing above this right here, so that's a no. We're going to close above that here in 49 seconds. Nice doji at the top. And that's it. That's all I got on the day. Great morning, not so great evening. We will account for it. At the end of the week, we take all the wins and the losses and we say, how did this system play out? How did not only the system, but the user error and the user management of that system, how did it play out? We have yet to have a lot of down weeks, even though there's down trades. And that's kind of part of trading. To be able to take this, and now I'm not going to go back in. I'm not going to go on my special walk this evening. I'm about screen timed out for the day. Tomorrow morning we've got awesome things going on with the team, and then I'm sending my son off for a sailing expedition, which is so much fun. But we shall see. So, there anybody else has any questions, comments, things that I can help them with in terms of relicensing or the strategy? Sorry, not so bueno. This is bear bullish. Not such a great trade. None of them. Neither. Gold was the best one, and nope, wasn't in it. Just wasn't in it. Oops, somebody's coloring. Somebody's coloring. Zoom. I have to find annotate on Zoom. Clear all drawings. There you go.
Hi, Jenny. This is Fatima. How are you?
Hey, Fatima, how are you?
Good. I just had a quick question. Because my updates aren't showing up with the indicator. So should I just wait until 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and try to update it again?
So wait, I talked to you today on Discord, correct?
Yes. Uh-huh.
So you have access already. I personally approved you to access today.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
If it doesn't work, you need to close your trading view out and reboot it.
Okay, maybe that's why, because it's just not showing up at all. It was showing up and then
Whole little subfolder, not server, inside of our server that has instructions on all the things we're going to be releasing. So I've got my name, the breakout. If you see this next to your name, you've got access to that. If you see this next to your name, you're going to have access to that. If you see this next to your name, you're going to have access to that. If you see this next to your name, it means I DM'd you because I can't find you. Okay. Every aspect of the things that we're kind of working on. So this in theory should streamline the process, and if everybody follows instructions, I do think I'm going to be a bit of a hard butt and say, look, you didn't follow instructions, I don't know, go follow instructions, right? And I think Futrix will do the same, to say, hey, look, you got to follow instructions, because if not, you're the one who's going to have also the most issues, because your stuff is not going to be updating properly, and then if you're behind all that stuff, it messes up you, it lags you. So
right.
um yes, take David's advice. If you're stuck with where you're at, clear it from your chart, sign out and sign back in of Trading View. Okay, so clear it from your chart,
Mhm.
resave the template without it, sign out of Trading View, and then come back in and do it again, and you'll see the access to it and all.
Okay, I'll try that.
Yeah, good. Well, and let me know how it works, because this way we can also advise others to see what they expected. David, what problems did you run into when you did this?
It didn't work. So what I did is it was on my chart, and I said, well, I need to reboot it because every time I've had to reboot it. So I rebooted it from experience, and it showed right up. And
Okay.
you got to make sure too that you put it on 4 UTC instead of 5.
Yep. And guys, you can also save this. So when you come into here,
Or UCC.
well, for
Yeah,
me,
that's the time we're trading because of daylight savings time.
Oh, okay. I am on 5.
so
Yeah.
this is how you're going to make sure that this matches this area. And what I do is I save this as default. So if I'm not constantly updating the darn thing like I have been here recently, every time I drop this indicator on my chart, it's going to pull up my defaults, which is really, really nice. It's so smooth. It's a beautiful problem to have, like beautiful. Um, but that should help too. Set it how you want it and then save it as defaults. And then provided we don't have any of the people kind of not updating, getting stuck, running, funky versions, every time there's an update, you'll get it. And or if you do need to ever reboot stuff that is licensed, just take it off your chart, delete everything, and sign out and sign back in. You'll have the cleanest, most up-to-date, bug-free version.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
So you are welcome. Hey, trust me, it's been a learning process for me too. And then people get so salty when you try to talk to them. I'm like, look, I'm just trying to solve this for you, with you. Like, we're good, I promise. But could be
Yeah.
setting up for a nice initial balance trade. Ooh, hold on. Let's go look at gold. This is gold. NQ is trying again, but we really need a voluminous close. We don't have one yet. So we came back in to retest this balanced price range. And gold is, hold on, Mr. Expert. I thought I saw your name in the Discord. Maybe not yet, John. Preach the word. It's hard for me to stop trading when I'm winning. That is for me to stop. It's easier when to stop when you're losing. That's actually interesting. I understand. And I think the book, I wish actually the book went into that a little bit more. I don't think goes into it adequately enough. And of course, we as humans can define that as greed. But I find that very, very interesting because to me, if I'm done on the day, and remember, let's say let's lowball it and say you have 5 to 10 accounts. Let's say you did only $200, okay? So I'm not even talking high numbers by any means. That's 5 to 10 accounts. It's 1,000, 2,000-ish dollars, right? Most people aren't making that in a week. Most people aren't making that in a day, that's for sure. Like they might be barely making that in a week. Better yet, in minutes of the day. So for me, I find it reasonably easy to say, hey, I'm done on the day if I shut off all my charts. Now, if I'm on my charts and I see my next setup happen, I get very tempted. So I think a good solution to have is to say, this is my trade session. I'm okay whether I won, lost or draw, the good, the bad, and the ugly during that session. And then the most painful thing in the world is to close this. Say, I'm done. I've got other things on my desk to take care of. I've got other things that I'm working on. I'm done trading. No matter what move I miss, I'm done. That's the hardest part. Like if we take away the access to, and I know some traders who literally have like app lockouts and things like that on their computers, and it's what worked for them. And I have at this point, if it's going to be the difference between you struggling for the next 6 months and getting $1 million payout in the next year, and notice I said $1 million, okay? $1 million in payouts in the next year, is it worth making some tweaks and sacrifices to your lifestyle or your plan? My answer is hell yes. Okay, when I said that and not heck, I said hell yes. So whatever little things we need to filter us mentally, emotionally, psychologically, I think it's worth being honest with ourselves about. And I'm not saying it's easy to be honest with ourselves, but if you don't have a hard time when you're losing, that means, Sandra, you're not at risk of going on tilt as much. You're not at risk of making some of the biggest mistakes traders make, which are, in my opinion, already puts you a cut above. And that's not just being nice and being so honest, okay? If it's your winning days, that's the trouble. A, your trading plan is still going to take the cake. B, your rules per session is going to help a lot. But C, maybe in your case, simply to put a what is it, like $30 a year or something like that for some of those app lockouts, to where, hey, you're not in, you're done. So you have to close everything by whatever time frame, let's say 10:59 or 11:59 or something, and you don't get another trade. And that will stop the problem that you're having a lot. And I promise that's going to be huge for you, especially if you're not going on tilt or something when you're losing. I cannot wait. You're on Discord, but you don't see the live session. What? I put it in the public group. What? Hold on. You could have been on here tonight. So next Tuesday night, you're going to be on here. I put it in the public chat. It says public Zoom tonight at everyone. And I also put it in the live session one, just so you know. So you get it next time. Deal?
Hey Jenny,
Hey, Waddy.
who who makes those things that will stop you from trading?
Oh, those are, well, so look up, gosh, oh man, I forget the name of the one I was looking at a while back. Oh, it's running a blanket. Give me a day or two to look it up, the one that particular that I'm thinking of. But if not, you can also do your own research and say, look up, screen time disabler for Windows or Mac or whatever it is you're using. That might help an awful lot. Um,
Jenny, excuse me, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say maybe you finish. I do have some systems like that that I use.
What is it? What app is it?
I use one that works with the Ninja Trader called Guardian Angel Trader. And
Okay,
then there's another one called Quant Guard that works with any rhythmic platform.
nice.
And those can do all those things like block you out of your trades, or do things like how many contracts can you put on, what times can you trade, daily loss limits. I mean, just very customizable like that.
Will you do me a favor and put those in the public chat for Discord, the ones that you've tried?
Yes, I
I
will.
don't know anything about any of those, but the one that I'm thinking of would block you out of like particular websites. They would block you out of particular, like, so Trade of Eight and Trading View, for example.
Right. I have heard of those as well. And I think you can look those up through like
Yeah.
Microsoft.
Yeah,
But
those
yes.
are like website based, or like, since I
Hmm.
run other businesses and I do other things, I can't just block Safari, but I can block Trading View and Tradeovate, for example, and Top Step X or Blue Guardian X or whatever
Right.
other.
No, you're right. I have heard of those. I have heard of programs like that too. The ones I have are like trading platform specific. But yes, those are good too because they're, like you said, website based on websites. But I
Oh,
will put those in right now.
yeah,
I'm gonna do it right
because I love the concept of it. Like when I'm not doing so much heavy lifting on Trading View like I am right now for whatever you call it, for development and stuff. Um oh guys, so I've made up my loss. I made up my
now. Did
loss.
you take the short,
Yeah,
Judy? Did
well,
you were you
I
still
took this
short for
short and
LinkedIn?
I took this short for 360. And I know we said we give it this much or this much. I was kind of just holding. This was our parent candle. So I really wanted to watch. So I've been in this that whole time. It's the same trade. Um,
Wow, that's awesome. If
so
I
to
could just hold, that would be great. Because usually, if you hold, it's gonna go back your way eventually.
So me, I'd rather have used the child candle, but like I said, something like this, as we closed above here and we were getting here, okay, cool. But then this didn't give any continuation. So then I was really, really monitoring it and kind of dragged it into this range. And that's why that box is still there. But just still babysitting it. So up on the day now, 300-ish dollars if I close right now. Well, a little bit less because it just pulled back up. A little bit less, but we'll see. Say I took two contracts here and two contracts here, somewhere in there. But yeah, honestly, I think that's a great, great app. I would probably put the one on there that goes um for my actual Safari. But yes, please put those in the group. To YouTube. Please be careful. You know there's a bunch of scammers pretending to be me online. I don't even post nothing so much personal anymore. So many people just hijacked me. Send link to my phone number. Um, link is in the link tree on the description to this video, or text me because you know as well as I do, I probably have a bajillion in my phone. Hold on. It's been a long time. And my brother's name too. So you're gonna have to text me. And then I will respond to it with the link. I promise. Okay? That will work. Or click on the link exactly right here and be careful because on Discord they're gonna try to pretend to be me in the DMs. They're gonna send you to different servers in the DM. So please, please, please be careful, guys. And that's that. This right here is still playing around. We're tapped into this level, so I should have really closed if we weren't yapping. I'd really like us to get below this on the 15-minute time frame. Not much. Still a lot of wicks that are pushing up. I'd love to see us make some big moves to the downside, but we'll see. We'll see how all that plays out. Not a super profitable night. That's 300-ish dollars. So that figure, that means I made about $70, $80 on the other accounts. The ones that are only trading 3 micros, for example. But that's enough on the day. Like I don't need to go take 100 other trades. Less is more, especially if I'm going to try to manage this many different brokers and to get this many different places. But that's me losing my voice because I've done nothing but talk for days and days and days in about a bajillion different meetings. And tomorrow I'm not going to be doing too much of that, with the exception of a small amount in the morning. So Not bad. Fair to Midland trades this evening. If you have any problems running into stuff with the indicator, put it in the support chat for Discord or email Futrix. Otherwise, every single thing you need should be taken care of before you wake up tomorrow morning. Again, please, please, please delete everything. It's going to solve 90% of your problems, and it'll solve problems for other people too because you're lagging up. You're clogging up the drain. So that's all we've got. Happy trading. Happy Tuesday. Take care and God bless, guys.